Update. My husband fell in love with another woman and wants to try polyamory. Original post. Hi, I, 33 female, have been married to my husband, 34 male, for 4 years, and we've been together for 12. After a lot of financial struggle, we bought a house and are now planning to have kids. The thing is, a few months ago, my husband fell sick and had to stay home for a while. He decided to pick up an online game and started having weekly sessions with a group of players. Among them is a girl, 30s I think, and long story short, he fell in love with her. He broke down crying a month ago and admitted it. He told me it built up so gradually that he didn't understand how he felt until it was too late. They started texting privately after meeting and eventually had one-on-one calls together. Then, at some point, he said she told him she was in love with him, and he realized it was mutual. He said he told her it was impossible, but that he loved her too. They tried to be just friends, but they couldn't resist, and continued to show affection for each other. He showed me the texts, and also ventured into sexting. She asked if she could meet him face to face, but he refused. So he told me all of this, apologized over and over again, and told me he couldn't control himself. And while he loved us both, it was me he would choose no matter what. I was still very upset and slept at a friend's that night to gather my thoughts. I decided to forgive him because he clearly felt guilt and wanted to work it out. I told him that while I was deeply hurt, I still appreciated him coming forward and being honest about what happened. We got into long conversations about how we were feeling in our relationship. I accepted that he could love someone else, but said I didn't like how he handled it. He agreed. And then yesterday, he asked if I was comfortable opening up the marriage to polyamory. He said he still wanted to live with me and have kids, but couldn't erase or ignore the feelings he had for her. He says he wants to do it right and let us both see other people with clear boundaries and communication while still being present for one another. I'm gonna be honest, it made me very uncomfortable at first. I know more or less how it works, but I never really thought about getting into it myself. It never even crossed my mind before. I am trying to think it through, but it's a lot to take in. Sorry, my writing is probably messy, but it's kind of hard to focus. I guess it's too early to decide, and we have a lot more to discuss beforehand, but still. Could you guys give me your opinions on this? Now for the top advice before reading the updates. I'd be divorcing so fast. And not at all entertaining kids with this man. So he cheated and now wants to be able to keep cheating by calling it poly? Come on, do not have kids with this man for the love of God, and if you have any self-respect, you'll be serving him divorce papers soon as possible. Sorry, your husband is a cheating a-hole. This will break you emotionally. Let him go. Divorce for good. Marriage is based on monogamy. Call me traditional or whatever, but poly is just an easy way for cheaters to justify themselves. What if he meets the other girl and decides that he only wants to be with her? Now for the first update 2.5 weeks later. First off, sorry I didn't reply to all your comments. I am very thankful for them. They helped me realize hard but fair truths about the whole situation. I waited for a bit to think about it all and had multiple long discussions with my husband. I wanted to confront him before making a final decision. To answer some of your questions, the other girl wanted to meet him, but they never did. Partly because my husband refused, but honestly, mostly because she lives too far away. I still got checked for STDs though, and I'm clean. Yay. He has friends who are poly, and they were apparently the ones who suggested he go down the polyamory road. I stopped talking to them for now. I'll deal with the bigger problem first. I told him his actions hurt me deeply, and that while I appreciated him admitting his affair, it was still infidelity. I told him what you guys said, that turning it into polyamory was merely green-lighting the affair after the fact, that polyamory should be built on mutual trust and communication, which he already broke, that I didn't feel respected. It destroyed him. He said he already knew, deep down, but didn't want to admit it, neither to me nor to himself. We both screamed and cried a lot. He finally admitted he wanted to open the marriage for selfish reasons. He is very sorry. He cut off contact with the other girl, let me fully access his computer and phone, and now wants to go to counseling to repair our relationship and marriage. He has been showing me a lot of affection and attention since then, although he admits it's sometimes out of guilt and not just pure love. And now I want to make it work too, but do I? Or is it sunk cost fallacy? I don't know. Our first session is in 2 months, the earliest we could get, and every day I change my mind. Literally yesterday, I wanted to leave him, while today I think it's worth giving it a try. Because we've known each other for so long, we understand each other on a very deep level, share a lot of interests, and have already built so much together. He was there for me during the hard parts of my life. He took responsibility for his actions and is really trying. Plus, if I leave him, I'd have to start my life nearly from scratch, find a new place to live, go back into dating for the first time in 12 years. I don't want to lose everything. It sounds very hard and scary. Am I too old for this? But at the same time, that's a form of denial, isn't it? It doesn't matter if those years were good. It's not going to be the same. Even if he gains my trust back, even if I forgive him, I'll never forget. I think he is genuinely remorseful, but isn't it too late for that? I'm too empathetic. Him being present now doesn't erase what was done. Do I want to stay not because I still believe in this relationship, but because I don't have the strength to ask for a divorce? Because it's the easy choice. Some kind of codependency? I have no idea. I can picture both paths clearly, and it's tearing me apart. I am lost, maybe even more than I was when I wrote my previous post. I've lost sleep and appetite, and I'm not sure I enjoy anything in my life anymore. I booked an appointment with a psychologist, for me alone, to help with this whole thing. I'm sorry. At this point, I'm rambling. I know I'm the only one who can decide what's okay and comfortable for me or not. It's ultimately my choice, and my choice only. The emotional hell I'm going through just makes thinking about that choice very hard and paralyzing. I'll go to both therapies and try to see what to do from here. I'll try to update, but it's probably going to take a while. I'm sorry. I want to thank you again for your support, and I'm sending you all a lot of love. Edit. A couple of things I should have mentioned but didn't, because putting all of this into writing without omitting something is much harder than I thought. He cut off contact with her because once he told her he was married and wanted us both, she just ran away and broke up with him. There are times since then when my husband starts feeling sad or angry because of what's basically withdrawal, and for that, he's at least smart and sensible enough not to blame me. What kind of marriage did we have before this crisis? It will sound so naive. It's my first and only romantic relationship. We were very close and basically grew up together as adults. We could talk about anything and understand each other. We shared the same values and interests. What changed, I think, is that we got into a routine and he got bored. During our argument, he said he was addicted to the attention the girl was giving him, and that he felt I didn't show him I was in love with him enough anymore. I told him that even if that were true, he should have told me instead of having an affair. On one hand, I have my faults too, and I could accept this as one of them. On the other, I was taking care of him and the house while he was sick. I don't think he believes it. I don't think he means it. But it makes me wonder whether I was actually a good wife for him, even though I am not responsible for his actions. Thanks again for your support, y'all. It's a lot to process, but it helps me so much. If you choose to stay, don't be surprised if in a year you find him talking to someone again. Cheaters are sneaky. They'll show remorse and swear they've changed. Meanwhile, they're smirking inside because they've started a new affair and think they can get away with it this time. Thank you. It's obvious and well known. Once a cheater, always a cheater. But reading it helps me fight denial. I really need to break up with him. If not for myself, just to show him that actions have consequences. Speak to an attorney about a post-nup with an infidelity clause. If you stay, as this should protect you financially, should he cheat again. You both need counseling to deal with this betrayal. Update me. Second update 3 months later. I hope you're doing well. A lot of things happened since then. I'll quickly summarize. Feel free to check my profile if you want to know more. It was a very, very unpleasant ride. So, soon-to-be ex-husband had an emotional affair online and tried to make me greenlight it by asking for an open marriage, where we'd be allowed to have side adventures. I refused, and his affair partner dumped him. He begged me to try to reconcile with him, to which I agreed while I was actually trying to prepare my exit. We both went to individual therapy. Still am. We separated temporarily 3 times, but every time I came back, it went terribly. He was desperate. He kept trying to cross my boundaries, love-bombing me, playing the victim, asking to touch me even though I had established I didn't want to, threatening to end himself if we were to divorce. I could go on and on. This made me finally realize, along with my therapist's help, a lot of self-reflection and my exchanges on Reddit, that I was in an abusive relationship, which is an important part, actually the most important part of this update. Please look up definitions and examples of abuse, because I had no idea that what my husband had been doing all these years, even before the affair, counted as such. In his case, it was psychological abuse, manipulation, gaslighting, guilt-tripping, blame-shifting, emotional blackmail. Nothing aggressive or mean, which turned me into a very submissive partner over the years, always catering to his needs while erasing mine. I rationalized everything. It happened subtly and gradually, and I was too naive to see it for what it was. His emotional affair and open marriage proposal were the natural continuation of that. Of course, the more I tried to get away from him, the more manipulative he got. Now that I was aware of it, I knew what he was doing. But fighting years of conditioning, even if you recognize it and succeed, is freaking exhausting and disarming. So, earlier today, I brought a friend home to assist me. We sat down, the 3 of us, and I told my husband we were over and handed him the papers. It might sound dumb, but it's genuinely one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I was terrified. Yet he agreed. He repeatedly asked me if I was sure. He reminded me of the family we were planning to have and our best memories together. Was it all for nothing? Apparently, yes. He was heartbroken, clearly mad and frustrated. But still, he agreed. He signed them and went back to his parents for now. We still have to go through the whole procedure, separate our assets, decide what to do with the house and all. And he still wants us to go to marriage counseling. But right now, I feel free for the first time in months. The last hours have been a mix of tears, celebration, and godly restful sleep. And I have to thank you guys again, because my first Reddit post was the wake-up call I needed to eventually, finally, get here. Better late than never, I guess. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you all. He reminded me of the family we were planning to have and of our best memories together. Was it all for nothing? Apparently, yes. He was heartbroken. That's a special kind of a-hole. Was it all for nothing? After cheating on his partner? He sounds like an insufferable dickhead, honestly. Congrats on your freedom. The worst part is that he appears very charming to everyone who knows him, myself included. Heck, lot of people from our circle, who are aware of what he did, still think he's a good person who just lost himself for a while. I guess it's hard to accept the ones we love can be terrible persons too. He's only being agreeable because 1. You had a witness. 2. He thinks he can convince you to come back. Again, because it's always worked in the past. Do not go back. In fact, change the locks, change all passwords, change utilities into your name, etc. And make sure you are as bomb-proof as possible, because he will explode when he realizes you are actually divorcing him. He will do everything he can to mess with your head, cause you to doubt, and then he will get really nasty and try to mess with your reputation, home, finances, etc. Be prepared. Yes, I agree. He knows my buttons and will push them all to get me back. I took notes of everything bad he did and comments I got from my friends and Reddit to remind me why I got away. I'll read it every time I have doubts. I can't change the locks because it's still his house too, but I'll take care of the rest. Thank you. Third update, another 3 months later. My previous post should have been the final update. I wish, God I wish, but no, of course not. Of course it got worse, again. F my life. After my soon-to-be ex-husband signed the divorce papers, we went no contact, or at least I tried to. He still sent me text messages, voice messages, and tried to call me multiple times. He even sent me a long letter full of statements such as, "I'm concerned that your mental health is deteriorating. I believe you need antidepressants to help you feel like yourself again. Or, your trauma is understandable, but it probably makes you want to punish me by making irrational decisions, like divorce, or I am afraid you are surrounding yourself with questionable influences that have bad agendas. Please let me help you see it through. He claimed the crisis was just as hard for him as it was for me. People told me he was escalating and that I should protect myself. I should have listened immediately, but I didn't react soon enough. Then he came to our street. He arrived uninvited and pleaded with me to give him a second chance. He said he wanted to be there for me and for us, insisting he didn't deserve any of this. I started to feel distressed. He saw that I was unwell and wanted to comfort me, so he hugged me. But I didn't want to be touched. I'm pretty sure I told him no. I think I screamed no multiple times, but my memory is fuzzy. Either I misremember, or I did say no, and he ignored it and didn't stop. I know it's just a hug, but it triggered a severe panic attack. He called emergency services, telling them he was worried about me because I wasn't myself. I had to ask the paramedics to make him leave. After that, he told me he was there for me if I needed him, but thought we needed space. He contacted half our social circle to inform them that I was unwell and needed support. Our mutual friends, my colleagues, our neighbors, my physician. People reached out of the blue to ask if I was okay. I became paranoid, unsure of who to trust anymore. Close friends, my therapist, and people here helped me see things more clearly. My lawyer filed a restraining order against him, but unfortunately it was refused. Not enough concrete evidence of a threat, apparently. I want to scream. We submitted a second request, which is currently being reviewed. In the meantime, I've moved into an apartment of my own. He doesn't know where I live. Heck, almost nobody does. I constantly wonder how he reacted when he found out. I'm still paying my half of the mortgage because nothing has been decided regarding our house yet. It's financially very hard for me, but I do feel safer. I am feeling much better, although I remain haunted by constant stress, sleep disorders, nightmares, nervous tics, random bursts of tears, and waves of anxiety. My physician prescribed me sedatives, and they do make it easier. I realize I'm isolating myself more and more. I try to fight it, but I'm really afraid that sensitive information could leak, even accidentally. I've started reaching out to my closest friends again, as much as I can. I'm trying to come back here on Reddit. I keep going to therapy. It's necessary. Because one part of me, the party cultivated for so long, urges me to stop all of this. To go back to the house, cancel the restraining order, cancel the divorce, call him, apologize, and repair our relationship. It would be insane. I am not going to do that. I do not listen to that little voice. I don't. But when your defenses are attacked over and over again, it becomes incredibly hard to reason properly. I can't wait for the divorce to be over. I just want to move on. I want all of this to be behind me. I'm sorry this is bleak. I wish I had left sooner. I just hope this can help someone. Anyone. Install cameras fast. It's for your sanity and your extremely abusive husband. I already have a Ring doorbell. I am waiting for this month's salary, which should probably arrive today or tomorrow, to buy additional cameras. I also got my landlord's authorization to add latches to the door. I hope this will help. He sounds like a nasty piece of work. He's trying to use your mental struggles against you. You don't have to isolate yourself. You can keep folks at arm's reach until you feel like you can trust them. Definitely get some cameras for your place. Not just for your crazy ex, but for other weirdos as well. This will pass. Take care of yourself. I felt like a child. It was so humiliating to find out everyone around me already knew about the panic attack before I even had a chance to tell people myself. Or just choosing to tell them or not. He kept saying he was there for me and wanted to save me, but he never asked me if I wanted his help. Last update, April 7th, 2025, 5.5 months later. Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since I last posted, and I appreciate your patience. I am okay. I was waiting for the storm to pass, but also wanted to take some time to gather my thoughts and reflect on everything before posting again. First off, I'm relieved to say that a restraining order was finally granted. Shortly after, my ex-husband sent me a long apology/love letter text asking me to take care of myself. I haven't heard from him since then. The divorce was recently finalized, and the house has been sold. It was draining. Saying it was a roller coaster of emotions would be an understatement. I have to thank my lawyer for carrying it through to the end. Starting over is overwhelming. I often find myself asking a lot of questions. What if I had spoken up sooner? What if I had recognized the signs earlier? What if I had been more assertive and expressed my boundaries better? What if I had communicated more effectively? What if I let myself get caught in the pain and overreacted? I think I failed miserably and made many mistakes over the past year. I'm still working on forgiving myself for those what-ifs. I feel bad for the pain I caused my ex-husband and others. There is shame, guilt, and self-hatred for sure. I know I can't change the past. I can only learn from it. Therapy still helps, more than ever now that the situation is stable. I don't need sedatives and sleeping pills anymore, most of the time. I still have plenty of bad days where memories, flashbacks, dissociative episodes, and nightmares paralyze me, but I'm learning to cope with them and identify their triggers better. My new apartment has become a safe haven for me. It's comforting to wake up in a space that truly feels like mine. Not a house filled with reminders of the past or a mere survival space. I've finally found the energy to decorate it with little touches that reflect who I am, and it feels so good to embrace that, to have a place I can call home. I recently turned 34. It could have been a miserable birthday, but it was not. It felt more like the mark of a new beginning. I am proud to say I'm taking evening classes, slowly making some new friends, and reconnecting with old ones. The laughter and joy they bring into my life is something I didn't think was possible anymore. I still struggle with trust in relationships, though. I am very careful around people. I'm still haunted by the traumas, and I never ever want to go through something like this again. I fear being manipulated and worry that people might realize I'm broken, damaged goods. I have moments of doubt, anxiety, and sadness, but I'm learning to accept those feelings instead of pushing them away. I understand it's okay to feel lost sometimes. It's part of the healing process. I carry my scars with me, and I know that while they will never disappear, they will still fade with time. I'm excited for what's to come as I slowly build a new life, one filled with hope and possibilities. I am not there yet, but I know I deserve happiness. We all do. For now, I think it's best for me to do what I was already doing. Step back from posting. This will be my last update. It has been 1 year since I joined Reddit, and I am now ready to move forward and focus on my journey without constantly revisiting the pain. I have plans to travel, explore new hobbies, and meet new people. I want to rediscover who I am outside of my marriage. Thank you all for your incredible support throughout this. Your kind words and encouragement have meant the world to me. I hope this can help anyone else going through something similar. It's tough, it takes time, and there are going to be difficult days. Healing is not linear, but it will get better. Eventually, I'll be okay, and I hope you all will be too. Much love to you all. These kinds of abusers are always scarier, in my opinion, when I read about them. How they undermine people's perspectives and everyone around them. I'm glad OP is safe and doing better. When I accused my ex of being abusive after we had split up under very similar circumstances, he said, "How can I be abusive? I never hit you." It's genuinely so insane and distressing how many people tell themselves, it's not abuse as long as I don't physically hit them. Or even if they do hit them, it's not abuse because you deserved it, /wound me up, /wouldn't listen, etc. Like there's just no stoppage of the constant denials so they don't have to own up to the absolute POS human beings they are. It's too hard to actually acknowledge the truth, so they use the most BS excuses on the planet to mentally wiggle their way out of accountability. Last story. Broke up with my boyfriend after he kept asking to do anal, even after I told him I was violated. When I was younger, I was drugged by someone I trusted, and they assaulted me in a way that hurt so terribly. I never wanted to think about it again. My boyfriend asked me if we could try anal. I said no and wanted to shut down. He asked me if I'd done it before. I said yes. He said, "So you did it for someone else but not me?" I told him it wasn't like that it wasn't consensual, and that I didn't want to talk about it again. Ever. He said okay and promised not to bring it up again. A few days later, he brought it up again. He tried to sell it to me. I think I could make it feel good. It could help you move past it if we did it right. I froze. I couldn't breathe. I told him, I told you, don't ask me about this again. I will never want it. I'm not going to change my mind. And he apologized and said he wouldn't ask again. A couple of weeks later, he proposed it again while we were showering after being intimate. So I broke up with him. He apologized again and said we don't have to end it over this, and that we don't have to throw away everything we've built. But I told him that we're done. One of my friends said he was just being naive and that I didn't need to break up with him over this, that we could work through it. My ex promised never to bring it up again, but I was done. It's one thing for someone to forget, but he didn't forget. I don't know if anyone else caught the attempted manipulation from the gate too. You'll do it with some other guy, but not me. Big honkin' red flag. That, and he's already showing her he won't respect a no. So if she did want to try it for some emotional blackmail reason, there's no guarantee he'd make the experience less traumatizing for her, when he could have his own sick pleasure instead. If he can't take a no when his junk isn't even inside her yet, will he accept it when it is? This is what they mean when they say rape mindset. That first no should have been it.